Tupac Shakur, middle name Amaru, male, sex black, same date of birth, right? So are these two separate prisoners, or are the two and one are the same?
Suge Jr. has been posting images of Tupac posing with celebs, saying that the rapper lives in Malaysia now and the Illuminati knows all about it.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm known as a man who come up with the goods concerning Tupac's escape. I mean, this is pretty big. That's quite, you know, I'm putting myself in even more danger.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jared Bronstein here, and welcome back to another top 10 video here for you on Inform Overload. Make sure you guys are subscribed, ring that bell, and of course, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Today, we're going to be covering the top 10 Tupac theories that will make you believe he's still alive. Now, I will say this list includes some pretty crazy stuff, and I'm most definitely not trying to disrespect the man by making this video. Simply just covering a story here that honestly, I find pretty interesting. For those of you that are unaware, Tupac was the target of a drive-by shooting back in September of 1996. He was rushed to the hospital and unfortunately succumbed to his injuries 6 days later. Tupac's mother, Afeni Shakur, had his body cremated, or so we thought. Over the years, there have been a handful of conspiracies surrounding the whereabouts of Tupac, and we're going to be covering the most realistic 10. So starting us off at number 10, a photo showing Suge Knight in Cuba with a man who looked like Tupac, but all you can see is the back of this guy's head. However, to add to the theory, when asked about it, Suge Knight said, I quote, "Why do you think nobody has been arrested? If he was dead, they'd be arresting those dudes for murder. You know, he's somewhere smoking a Cuban cigar on an island," end quote. However, it's believed the man who actually shot at Tupac was Orlando Anderson, who died in 1998 from another gang-related shooting. It was confirmed that Anderson fired the shot that killed Tupac by Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who admitted to a former LAPD detective he was in the car when the shooting happened, and Anderson was in fact the one to pull the trigger. At number 9, Tupac's cremation. Following Shakur's passing, his mother requested him to be cremated. Over the years, there have been a few stories as to what happened here. Tupac was a part of a group called the Outlaws who claimed to have smoked some of his ashes in a joint, respecting his wishes in the song Black Jesus, which was released posthumously. In the song, Tupac rapped, I quote, "Created last wishes, smoke my ashes," end quote. However, Afeni Shakur, Pac's mother, claims his remains were spread over a special place in LA, and the rest were spread over her garden in Stone Mountain, Georgia. She also claimed in 2006 that her son's ashes were going to be buried in Soweto, South Africa. What's even more interesting is Suge Knight claimed the day after Tupac was cremated, he paid $3 million for the ashes. The man who allegedly cremated Tupac's body hasn't been seen since he carried out the job, and Pac's social security number wasn't registered in the official death index, so seems kinda weird. Number 8, his other stage name, Machiavelli. The story here is that Pac sometimes went by the stage name Machiavelli, which was the same name as an Italian strategist, Niccolo Machiavelli, who faked his death. To go even further with this theory, if you rearrange the letters in Machiavelli the way Pac spelt it, you get Am Alive K. As crazy as it sounds, this theory may be one of the more believable ones out there. Seems very coincidental. Number 7. Well, of course, it's going to be Pac's use of the number 7. On Tupac's album The Dawn Killuminati, The 7-Day Theory, which was released 2 months after Tupac's death, and was the only album released under his stage name Machiavelli. What's even crazier is the album cover showed Tupac hanging from a cross, representing him as Jesus. Here's where you could decide if things get too crazy or too coincidental. Tupac was shot on September 7th. He died 7 days later if you include the day he was shot on as a day, because he died on September 13th. When he died, he was 25 years old. 2 plus 5 is 7. He died exactly 7 months to the day after his biggest album, All Eyes on Me, was released, and even crazier, he died at 4:03 p.m. 4 plus 3 equals, you guessed it, 7. Also portraying himself as Jesus or a god of sort, whose day of rest was on day 7. His birthday was also June 16th, 1 plus 6, again, is 7. Now this could be a stretch or a very interesting theory. Number 6, Tupac is in an LA jail. This one, I won't lie guys, it's a little less believable and it was met with a lot of criticism. YouTuber Cody Lockie checked some LA prison records and found 2 booking numbers showing a man by the name of Tupac Amaru Shakur with the exact same details of Tupac. Same height, same weight, same birthday. It could be an alias for a completely random person, which is much more believable, but it seems Cody is set that Tupac was arrested once in 2017 and again most recently in 2019 and is currently serving time in an LA prison. At number 5, he was seen in Somalia. Another far out idea, but a local Somalian man claims he saw Tupac along with his friend and founder of the Outlaws hip hop group, Yaki Gaddafi. The man claimed, I quote, "I've seen Tupac and Gaddafi way after their said deaths in Somalia. I've seen them both alive. I was in a car and they were heading in the other direction. Gaddafi was doing some kind of hand signals. He looked kind of funky. I saw them alive way after their deaths." end quote. Now, there was a Tupac lookalike who appeared at a Boston Celtics game in 2014. This man claims he saw Tupac in 2018. So it is possible it could have been the same guy. For all we know, I mean, they drove in different directions, so it makes me really hard to believe it was actually Pac. Suge Knight's son claiming Tupac is in Malaysia. In a handful of Instagram posts, Suge J. Knight Jr. claimed Tupac was alive and living in Malaysia. He claimed after he told the world about Tupac's whereabouts, the Illuminati was coming after him, so he had to find a way to keep himself safe. Of course, after Suge Jr. made these claims, he said his Instagram following blew up with him getting over 200,000 followers in just 2 days. While being interviewed by Yahoo Entertainment and asked if he actually believes Tupac is still alive, his response was, I quote, "You just have to tune into the show for my answer," end quote. So I mean, take from that what you will. Into the top 3, the YouTube channel Wired Up TV, which claims to be the go-to YouTube channel for all Tupac theories, posted a video which included a grainy photo of a man surrounded by 3 kids who looked a lot like Tupac. Now again, it's a bit of a stretch. In the video, the channel's host, Danny, explains that he doesn't know much about the photo, who the kids are, but they're making some calls to figure all the details out. Although it's the most recent claim as of this recording, it's not as crazy as these next top 2. So coming in number 2, he was smuggled to Cuba with help from Fidel Castro, and Michael Nice claims he was part of the security team that helped the whole thing go down. Nice said he was working with the Black Panthers and had claimed he was in touch with a Tupac body double who was going to testify that Tupac was indeed still alive. Nice also said, I quote, "I have audio and video evidence of Fidel Castro confirming he sanctioned Tupac to live in Cuba. And he sanctioned the body double switch that I was involved in. There were terms and conditions on that sanction. There was a limit to the amount of time. There were conditions on his behavior. He must not confess to actually being Cuba," end quote. Now, just days before he was going to allegedly release the evidence, Nice was found slumped behind the wheel of his car, with the cause of his death officially being determined as natural causes. Although his family calls the death extremely suspicious, who knows what really went down. And in at number 1, the theory that Playboi Carti, the rapper known for the hit song Magnolia, is the reincarnation of Tupac. The belief behind this story is that the day Tupac died, Carti was born. Real name Jordan Terrell Carter, a ton of his fans genuinely believe he is the actual reincarnation of one of the best rappers of all time. Although I personally don't see any resemblance physically or in the style of music, aside from they're both African American men, I guess. There were a ton of tweets from fans saying things like, I quote, "Playboi Carti is the reincarnation of Tupac," and I quote, "Tupac dies the day Carti was born. Coincidence? I don't think so." Take from it what you guys will, but those are the top 10 Tupac theories that will make you believe he's still alive. As always, I want to know your thoughts in that comment section down below. Do you guys genuinely believe Tupac is still alive somewhere? You gotta let me know. Make sure you guys are subscribed, ring that bell, and of course give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I've been your host, Jared Bronstein, and you guys can catch all of us on social media. We got links in the description down below. I'll see you guys soon.